On Thursday morning, Ronald, or Veronica, was on the minibus once more. His black eye had been badly concealed with foundation and one could almost taste his sense of shame. Having short hair, he wears a pair of hair slides with white satin bows attached. The other boys question him about absconding the previous day, seeking all the gory details of when the prefects found him, but he didn't want to share. He must have put up a fight, hence his black eye, but everything else is guesswork. Class, break, class, lunch. When they donned their tights and leotards for their twice-weekly dance class, the expression on Ronald's face was priceless. He looked utterly petrified as he sheepishly followed the others to the gymnasium, under the watchful eye of the prefects who've been charged with chaperoning him. After a brief warm-up session, the rancid piano music began and the teacher called out the positions: first, 2-3-4, second 3-4, third 2-3, on the beat, 3-4, and on she went. "Remember your posture, Alice," she called. "Excellent, William," she complimented. "Very good, Veronica," she said. After the dance class, the teacher approaches Andrew and William and says they've both done well in such a short space of time. "Especially you, Wendy." William bashfully thanks her. "Now you're only here for 2 weeks, which means today is probably your final class with me," she says. "Unless you accrue additional days between now and tomorrow afternoon," she adds. "However, we do hold a Saturday dance class from 10 a.m. till noon which you'd both be welcome to join," she suggested. She turns to Ronald. "Hello, Ronnie." One of the prefects who's watching from the sidelines says, "His name's Veronica, miss." "I'm aware of that, Judith. Veronica and I are already acquainted," she relped before turning back to Ronald. "Now, in light of your change of circumstances, will you be attending Saturday afternoon's tap dancing class as usual?" Both Andrew and William's jaws drop as they slowly turn their gaze toward Ronald. "I don't know, miss. I'll have to ask my mum," he says. On the way home in the minibus, William says to Ronald, "I didn't know you went to tap dancing classes." "No one knows," Ronald replied. "Why not?" "With my reputation." Ronald sarcastically spat before glaring out of the window. "Idiot," he added under his breath. "Veronica." "We don't use words like that," the driver stated. Ronald muttered an apology. "We won't tell anyone if that's what you're worried about, will we, Alice?" William said. Andrew shook his head. His bunches bounced around his ears. "Do you enjoy it?" William asked Ronald. "I wouldn't go if I didn't, wouldn't I?" Ronald retorted. "I just don't want people knowing, that's all. And we don't want anyone knowing we've spent 2 weeks at St. Flick's," Andrew stated. "You won't tell anyone, will you?" "Probably not," Ronald replied. "Depends on you two keeping your traps shut," Ronnie stated as the minibus drew to a halt outside his house. The sliding door opened and Ronald alighted. William and Andrew watched as he trotted up his garden path, his pleated skirt swishing this way and that. The front door opened and his mother appeared, grinning from ear to ear as he approached. The minibus departed as he stepped inside. "I reckon our secret's safe with him," Andrew said. "It's not him I'm worried about," William replied. "It's Miss Colton and Mrs. Arkwright." "How was school today?" Andrew's mother asked when he returned home. "Okay," Andrew replied as he unslung his dance bag and handbag, hanging them from the back of a chair. He was tempted to tell his mother about Ronnie's secret tap dancing class, but knowing how gossip spreads, from the bus stop to the bingo hall, across the dining table and into the schoolyard, he decides not to. He can't help but imagine the scene though, the notorious bully, tapping his way through a routine wearing a huge beaming grin.